Hey girls and boys, it is Mr. McAndrew, the math coach, and we are working on multiplicative comparison. So let me get my head out of the way. I'm going to read you this problem. It's a little bit different than what yesterday's looked like. So it says, Beth, here I'll move my head over because I don't need it right now. Beth has 18 video games, which is 3 times as many as her little brother Keith. How many video games does Keith have? So yesterday we knew what the smaller amount was and how many times greater the bigger amount was. Today we know the bigger amount and how many times larger it is, but now we're figuring out the smaller amount. So let's take a look at what this looks like. So use our handy dandy math app here. So we have Beth, right? And we have Keith. Actually, I'm going to move Beth down here. I'm going to put Keith right here. All right, so we know that Beth has 18 video games. So if I put a bar up here, I'm going to make it a little bit longer, okay? So this represents 18 video games. So I'll write in there 18. Okay. So, you know what? Actually, I'm going to erase that. Use my eraser. I'm going to erase that. And instead, I'm going to use this. So we know that this is... Now I'm going to put it here. This represents 18. Not easy to write with this. Okay, so the question is, we know that it is 3 times as many as her little brother Keith. So watch this. If I click on the bar and I drag, see down here, I drag this, I can break it into... Oh, let me try it again. Click. Oh, I got to get rid of the pencil. Sorry. Okay, so I click on this and I drag it 2, 3. Look, I can break it up into as many pieces as I want. So I'm going to break it into 3 pieces because it's 3 times bigger than what Keith's is. So let's put down Keith's. And we'll make it a little bit longer, like that. Okay, so now we can see that Beth's amount is 3 times more, it's greater than whatever Keith is. We know this is 18. So we can see here that we are actually taking 18, right, and dividing it into 3 equal pieces. So we're thinking like 18 divided by 3. By 3 equals what? So what plus what plus what equals 18. So the other way to think about this, boys and girls, is 3, right? 3 groups of what, something, equals 18. If it helps you to think of it this way, right? So remember, multiplication and division are very connected. So 18 divided by 3 equals what? So let's see, if I had 5 in each of these, that's 5, 10, 15, that doesn't work. Let's try 6. 6, 12, 18, that does work. So each of these is 6, okay? So 18 divided by 3 is equal to 6. And we know that 3 groups of 6 is going to be 18. Okay? All right, so the question is, how many video games? It's a lot of work, right? Like, do we know the answer yet? How many video games does Keith have? Well, he must have 6 video games because 18 is 3 times greater than 6. We can see that right here. Okay? So let's take out your math packet. All right, so it looks like this. It's the same word problem we just did. So I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing just with a pencil, or in my case, a marker, okay? So again, we're comparing Keith to Beth. Beth could go on top. I like to always put the smaller one on top. It just makes it easier for me. So what we could say is we don't know how many Keith has, right? That's a question mark. But we know that Beth is 3 times as much. And we know that from here to here is 18. Okay, and that's how we got to figuring out that 18 divided into 3 equal groups would give us 6. Or the other way to think of that is 3 times what would give us 18. And since each of these is 6, we know that Keith has 6 video games because we know that Beth has 3 times as much. And 3 times 6 is 18. Okay, so that's how it all comes together. So our equations, we actually just did it on the math app, which is called thinking blocks, by the way. There's 2 equations we could write. We could say 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Or we could say 3 times 6 equals 18. All right, so they both work. All right, so boys and girls, on the next page, there is a problem very similar to the one we just did. I would like you to try that problem on your own, okay? You can put down Jenny. Oh, let me read it to you first, I'm sorry. So it says, Jenny biked on her bicycle 15 miles yesterday. She biked 3 times as far as her little sister Peg. How many miles did Peg ride her bike? So Peg is going to ride less miles, right? Because her sister Jenny biked 15 miles, which is 3 times longer. So using the method that I just used, can you draw a model and then tell me which equations you could use? All right, so please pause the video and do that now. And don't come back until you have completed that to the best of your ability. All right, boys and girls, welcome back. So how did that go for you? Was that easy, medium, difficult? This is kind of new. So if I were doing this, I might put Peg and Jenny. We don't know what Peg is, but we know that Jenny is 3 times more. 1, 2, 3. And we know that Jenny is biked 15 miles. So again, we have divided by 3, right? So 15 divided by 3. What plus what gives me 15? Or 3 times what gives me 15? So that would be 5. 5, 10, 15. So Peg must have biked 5 miles. All right, so our equations would be either 15 divided by 3 equals 5, or 3 times 5 equals 15. Okay, both of those work. All right, so like yesterday, you have an activity. It's a little bit different. You don't need your dice today. So I'll do the first one for you, and then there are 5 more to do, okay? So it says 35 is 7 times as much as what? All right, so here's our model, okay? So we're going to make it, we don't know what this is. This is a question mark. Question mark. But we know that 35 is 7 times as much. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we know that this all adds up to 35. Okay? So 35, right, you could think of it as divided into 7 equal groups is going to give me what? Or you could think what times 7 gives me 35, right? Something times 5, not 5, sorry. Let me try this again. 7 groups of what is going to give me 35? My brain was already going to the answer. Or we could say 35 divided by 7 equals what we're looking for. Okay? So 35 is 7 times as much as what? Well, this is 7 times as much. Here's 35. We know it's 35. Do you know what 35 divided by 7 is? I kind of already gave it away. It's 5. Because 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 35. Okay? So 35 is 7 times as much as 5. So our equation could either be this or this. It could either be 7 times 5 equals 35, or you could write 35 divided by 7 equals 5. Either one is correct. Okay, so down here, you're going to do the same thing. It's going to be 3 times as much, so 1, 2, 3. So 12 is 3 times as much as what? All right, so we know this is 12. And so what are each of these boxes going to be? And that's how you do the rest of the problems. All right, so I'll finish this one for you just to make sure you understand, okay? So what plus what gives me 12? Well, I'm pretty good at this, so I'm pretty sure it's 4. Let's just check. 4, 8, 12. Yes, so that works. All right, so we could think of it as 12 divided by 3, we know is 4. Or we had 3 groups of something equals 12, and we know that now it's 3 groups of 4. So 12 is 3 times as much as 4. Okay? And your equation could be either one of these. Just replace the question mark with the 4. Okay, so there's a few more to do. There's a couple more on the next page. All right, boys and girls, good luck. Do a good job. Make sure you model each problem. I think that'll help you to begin to understand what's happening here the same way that I just showed you. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.